Hello and welcome back to Sunk Costs from IT to GRP. Back again. We've got a break in the weather just for the day. It's going to chuck down again tomorrow, so making the most of it, popping down just for a couple of hours to do a little bit more work. And I'm sat on my fishing rod. That's not very clever, is it, John? Oh, idiot. I thought something was digging in. I had my first post early retirement migraine yesterday, so I was really intrigued as to how my migraines would be affected having retired. I've had chronic migraine for all of my adult life, for at least 40 years. 2-3 migraines a week, and it is a most debilitating thing. Everywhere I've worked over the years, everyone knew I had regular migraines. Everyone could tell. And I had cupboards, basements, offices that I could go to hide out for an hour or two. When I started getting prescribed triptans, they helped a huge amount, and they meant that I could just go and hide for an hour, take a triptan, hide for an hour, and hopefully come back bouncing back into the office. So everyone was used to it. Everyone knew that I'd either come back in an hour or I'd need taken home to just go to bed for a day or two. So I was really intrigued as to how they would be affected now that I've stopped working. And so this was my first one for 4 weeks. Proper migraine. I've had headaches and the triptan. You take a triptan and it goes. The one yesterday, triptan didn't touch it. It came on, bed for 9 hours, and then sleep it off overnight. So I'm a bit wasted this today, but look at that, sun needed to get out. So I'm going to have a nice gentle couple of hours and then call it quits. So I'll probably film this episode over a couple of visits, see how we get on. What I want to do today is, for the ceiling, I've cut a strip of oak. So this is the first time I really used table saw to cut a strip, and I'm really chuffed with it. Really pleased. It's a Rage 5S. Who make it? Evolution? Rage 5S. Anyway, I'll write it in the corner. Did a really good job. I'm really chuffed with it. So I just want to see how that fits joining the ceilings, the two halves of the ceiling together. And I've also got this piece of plain timber I bought as it is, to see if I can cut a couple of pieces to raise the water pump upwards a little bit and secure it so it doesn't move around. And I might do a little bit more electrics. We'll see how we get on. But as I say, I'm going to take it gentle. My head is clear, but my body is knackered. That's it for the moment. Let's crack on. What I really want to do is make sure, so these are the two halves, and I just copied the length of the original piece, but then obviously it's like double the width. And what I want to do is make sure it fits under there, which it does. That obscures that, like that. If I screw that into the ceiling, comme ça, that will do. A nice sort of put a router to round off the corners. That looks rather good, actually. I like that. So yeah, I'll take it home, clean it up, bit of routing, drill it out, varnish, and bring that back. So that's a good start. Don't need to do anything more with that at the moment. Let's plonk that out of the way. Now I also cut a smaller piece to go into here, and I'm just hoping that that would go into there. Now then, this piece here, I think what I'll need to do, so first question answered is, will it go nicely? Yes, it will. What I think though is these screws now are proud of the ceiling, so with these plastic screw covers, but of course once that's in place I won't need the covers because the piece of timber will cover them. So they will do, that will do the job nicely as well. Is the other half slightly thinner? I did cut a piece in half, so yeah, that slides in. So that might be slightly better. That goes into there. Take those pieces off and fit that in. That will do nicely. So again, I will take that home, route off the edges, are you still recording? You are. It all went a bit wonky, didn't it? Anyway, so take that home. Why don't you want to see me? Maybe I was too far away. Anyway, you can see what I'm doing. Gimbal got itself in a bit of a kerfuffle. Now the original was reduced in length, reduced in width there, but I cut these straight, and I'm not sure why that was done like it was, but you get a little bit of flex in this thin piece, so that will do nicely. I need to take that piece of remaining screw out, remove those plastic jobbies, make the screws flush, and then the piece of timber will go in nice. Okay, so that's answered that question as well. Back down with the water pump. So to just see if I can I've got this piece of timber now. I want to see if I can cut two lengths of this to mount the this onto there. So that is 4 plus 6, 7 millimeters. What does 4 plus 6, 7 mean? .7. So 55, 56, 62, 63. That doesn't make sense. 55 and a half. 61 points.
So we got 2 pieces of whatever size this is. That fits there nice. This, lovely, fits in there. Then we'll water pump sits here. Now there's no way I'm going to get it all out in one piece, so if I line that up, put that there, and then mark where it needs to go, I can cut it and drill it. But I won't be able to assemble it until it is in place. Once that's there, I've got some brackets I can mount to there and to there. Yeah, that will do it, and that will secure it. Right, let's go and prep it up. So I've just assembled it here outside. Now let's take it through to where it's got to go, down there. So I'll dismantle it, put it all in place, and then remantle it, if indeed remantle is a word, I don't know. So we can see that's now raised off the base. So if the bilge fails and we get loads of water inside, at least it will give it a fighting chance of being out of the water next time. What I need to do though next is to put some angle brackets at either end of the 2 timbers. But to do that, I'm going to have to take the water pump off the base and probably take that relay off as well, and then fix that to the white side piece, the 2 bits of timber to that, and then reassemble it all. That's for another day. I don't want to overdo it. So little steps. That's another step closer. Just finishing up for today. I don't want to overdo it. I've just fitted that light up there, put a diffuser on, so we've got a nice little cabin light for next time we're here overnight. The other one I'll do next visit, but I think I've done enough for today. Probably overdone it as usual. What I will do, this corner piece which has come off here, so I'll put these 2 pieces of oak once I've varnished and finished them up. What I'll also do is clean up this piece, because it seems to be probably mahogany or Uruku, so and it's in reasonable condition. The only thing I don't like is this door jamb. What I might try to do, just for the hell of it, is to see if I can route out this section and inlay another piece of Uruku and put it in flush. Never done that before, but I fancy giving it a go. So I'll have a go at that at home when I'm doing the other pieces, and then once I've done that, I'll have a look at varnishing them all and bringing them back again. Meanwhile though, put the floor back down, and again next time I'll put those angle brackets in to secure those new pieces of timber, and then the water pump will be secure and I'll be able to connect up the pipes and finally tick off a piece of work. Well, I'm now back down again for the second visit of the week, and it's blowing a bit of a gale, but I just wanted to finish off a couple of things, see if I could do that last light and have a look at the
the pipes and connecting them up. I also had this idea that I've connected this here fluffy thing to the microphone because I was very conscious that there's lots of huffing and puffing going on, so I'm hoping that this this fluffy thing will reduce that amount of the huffing and puffing that I do as I clamber around the boat. One thing I wanted to say, actually, back to the migraine issue, is that the migraine I had last week, normally I'm very conscious that I'm losing a day, either a work day that I've got to make up, or I'm losing a weekend day, and they were so precious. But of course, I was laying there in bed with the migraine last week, and I wasn't fretting over the fact that I was losing a day because there's always another day. So that, I realised, was another real advantage of being retired early, that I don't have that frustration of losing a day. So there you go, another bonus. Anyway, let's try to do that last rear light, the rear starboard light. Let's see if I can get that wired up this afternoon, that way. So this is what I'm starting with. Let's see if I can get that soldered on. Now what I'm hoping is that if I take this water pump off with those 4 posi drive screws, I can get to the ends with, I've got 4 of these angle brackets that I'm hoping will fit certainly at the one end here. At this end I'm not so sure, but we can but try. Yeah, these 2 can fit on top like that. The other side though, they're going to have to mount on the sides. So I think if I mark them up on the timbers, I'll then have to dismantle it all again, and if I can then screw the brackets onto the 2 cross timbers, I can then maybe get something in on the side pieces. It's going to be awkward, but let's give it a go. All apart again. Relay board, backboard removed. It's going to be cozy and difficult. So I've got the 2 pieces back out, timber back out again, and mount those brackets on there, and then see how we get on in the base, in the build again. You didn't need to see me drilling and screwing these brackets on. 3 or 4 per bracket should be ample. Let's now have a wrestle or a tussle getting it all together, which I won't film because it'll probably take me 3 hours and lots of swearing. Well, it could have been a whole lot worse. Took the relay backboard off, and you can see that secured both faces. You can see that. So the only downside at the moment is, now that I've raised the pump, this thing goes in under stress and duress, which I don't want, so I'm going to have to move that hole where the blue pipe comes through, open up that gap a little bit. But my knees are complaining at the moment, but I'm really pleased that I've got those 2 pieces of pine in place and the water pump is now secure. As I've got the lid off, I can show you that I've also
that blue ribbon I cut because at the time I didn't have the right Torx screws, which I have now, but that's bust. So I'm going to have a go with this piece, which I can then unclip. I'm going to have a go at that, but not today because my knees have had enough for the moment. I'm just now packing up. As most days or most weeks, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So we've got the rear port light working, the rear starboard. I can't work out what's wrong. I thought it was this, but this only works in the panel and not at the wire end. So I've either got a break somewhere or one of the terminations is wrong. I can't work it out at the moment. I need to approach it with a fresh head. So one done anyway. Water pump, I'm really pleased with the progress. Getting ever closer to getting that connected up. As I say, because I've now raised it, the blue pipe is coming through in the wrong place, so I've got to change that feed. But ever closer to having that bit done as well. When I look around me, I think there's so much to do, but it's little steps each week. So that's it really for this week. I shall pack up, go home, and according to the weatherman, or the weather app, warmer weather might be coming the weekend. Fingers crossed, because getting a bit fed up of this cold, miserable, wet weather. Although today is dry, it might be dry and bright, but it's cold and very windy. So, but it's winter. Enough. So signing off. Remember, be nice to each other and be kind to yourself.